the Bureau for Public Procurement in terms of technical capacity of the people there and the numbers, because we have a bureaucracy of over 400 parastatals, apart from the ministries themselves that are 40 or 41 or 42. So you have a huge bureaucracy, and every ministry, department or agency has to go through that due process. So the due process office has a backlog of work that slows down the space at which the public or the National Assembly wants to see these releases being done. So that's a genuine concern. It's for the executive to deal with that. Whenever the National Assembly has raised that issue, the executive has tried to explain that they have got to go through due process. No one quarrels with due process, but you've got to make it as fast as possible, in fact, faster than what it is now. And it's a matter of capacity. Nobody is saying you should not do due process or short-circuit the process, but have enough people, get them trained, and see that any capital release that is supposed to go out goes out very quickly. So that is something the executive needs to deal with effectively.
Well, thank you so much, Gabriel. We're going to take a quick break now, and Business Morning continues in just a moment. We're still revisiting the 2013 budget controversy. Please join us again.
Wherever and whatever your banking needs, Guarantee Trust Bank will be there, now and into the future. Because you're at the heart of everything we do. Guarantee Trust Bank, proudly African, truly international.
Welcome back. You're watching the Monday edition of Business Morning on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. And we've been looking at the 2013 budget controversy with an economist, Gabriel Idahosa, who's still on the program with me. Well, thank you so much, Gabriel, for sticking around.
Thank you.
Well, just before we went on break, we were talking about the problems with the 2013 budget in view of 2014 budget, which we should be expecting, that we should be talking about at the moment. Now, we also know for a certainty that the Ministry of Finance has tried as much as possible to disburse few funds to, enable the MDAs begin their capital projects. But really, how can they do much better in light of what's happening?
Definitely they can. They can in the sense that you can get the Bureau for Public, Public Procurement Bureau itself and the units in the various MDAs to work faster. Because each MDA, ministry, department, agency, has a procurement process within themselves before it goes to the central point. Those processes certainly take longer now than most people will want. Every stakeholder feels that those processes take too long, that you can actually speed up the process. One, you've got to be more efficient with the people you have. Two, you need to hire more people. They need to be better trained. So that can be done, and I think the Minister of Finance should be able to address that and get the process much faster. That certainly will help the situation.
But that's like a lot of work for the Ministry of Finance to be doing at the moment.
Yes, and there's also the fact that in some cases it's not the capacity of the process. It's just the priorities that the ministry itself wants to follow. the ministry might feel that certain disbursements are not appropriate at certain times, and they can decide that even though it is due to be disbursed, we need to hold on, we need to watch our cash flows, we need to see how the world market is doing with the oil price and our incomes, and ensure that we balance our books on a monthly or quarterly basis. So the ministry is looking at that, at the big picture. So there is the policy aspect of the ministry trying to control how disbursements are made. There is the process aspect of how the Bureau for Public Procurement and their units are working. They need to work faster once the decision is made to disburse. So you got to look at those two processes. Where, for example, does the minister feels or the ministry feels we shouldn't disburse yet because, again, we are looking at inflation. We are looking at how much money is flowing into the economy. So slow down on the disbursement. Let's see how we can moderate the disbursement to ensure that we help the central bank to manage the inflation. So that's there. But even when the ministry has decided to disburse, the process itself, the people in charge, needs to work much faster than they do now.
Now, so what's it going to be like now moving forward? We do know that this is something that has gone on. This experiences and challenges we've had with budgeting process has been since 1999. But what are we going to do now? What should we be looking at going forward? It's already late, but when is the best time? When is the best time, like, for the funds to actually be disbursed? When is the best time?
No, the best time for the...
Because we do know that the fiscal year, 2013 fiscal year, will end very soon, in the next couple of months. And we should be thinking of how we're going to be itemizing what we're going to be spending on for next year, our recurrent and capital expenditure. And we still have this one that we're yet to deal with. It's supposed to be like a budget of what we expect to spend. It's not like a total figure of what we should be spending on projects, education, and the likes of it. So when is the best time for these monies to actually start to hit the system so that we can see work done prior to next year?
Well, for the ministries, departments, agencies, and for the private sector, the best time is when the budget is approved. That's the best time, because once the budget is approved, let's say the budget is approved in April or May or January, whatever time, the first quarter disbursements should take place almost immediately so that you have maximum impact on the economy. Then when you get to the second quarter, the disbursements again should be done very early in the second quarter. So again, you have maximum impact. That's as far as the MDAs and the private sector, the economy is concerned. But for the minister and those looking at public policy, fiscal policy, monetary policy, the best time is the time that has minimal impact on inflation.
Okay, like you already said, yes.
So you are balancing two considerations for you to see when the money actually comes out. So the ministries, departments, and agencies are always knocking at the door once the budget is approved. They say, our money is there, it's approved, let's have it. Then the minister and the policy people now looks at it and say, yes, you have it, but you can't get it now. We need to see how much cash is in the system, where is the liquidity situation, how much inflation are we looking at, what projects needs to be funded immediately, which ones need to wait, we slow down a bit. So there is no best time for everybody. So it is both sides negotiating that to look at what both sides can agree with. And that's the cause of a lot of the contention.
Well, thank you so much, Gabriel, for sharing your thoughts with us this morning on Business Morning.
Thank you.
Well, I've been speaking with an economist, Gabriel Idahosa, and we've been revisiting the 2013 budget controversy. Well, it is an issue that we will be tracking, and we hope that it will be expeditiously addressed, as the Special Advisor to the President of National Assembly Matters, Joy Modi, has said. Well, that's the program for today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm Harriet Agbini.